Hey guys, Haz here at Shield Canine, and I'm here with guess who? Macey boy. Alright, so I'm here with Mace. Now, I know a lot of you know Mace from the YouTube channel, from when I brought him back from the Netherlands, roughly around this time last year. If you don't know who Mace is the giant Dutch Shepherd that I purchased in the Netherlands. He's from KNPV Lines, and I brought him back here, and it was a little bit of an exciting series of videos on me working with this dog and bringing him to the point where, you know, he had some training, some impulse control, so on and so forth. If you want to check out that YouTube series, go back and check it out. I believe I started posting them November last year. We'll probably post the little linky thing below. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Mace, probably for about the last 5 months, has been sold. He has been living with his new handler, and his new handler is no stranger to the breed. His new handler has kept multiple Dutch Shepherds in the past, and his new handler is, I'll just say this, he's no dummy and he's no pushover. He might not be a professional dog handler, but he definitely knows a lot more than most, and he's a good guy. So Mace had a very good relationship with the handler. They were hanging out a lot, they were going in the woods a lot, you know, they were doing training a lot, and just like the relationship I had with Mace, they were buddies. Everything was going good. Unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, Mace bit the handler. And it wasn't over, I know, before anyone, oh, what did he do? It's a Dutchie. A lot of people are always, what did he do? In many cases, you don't really have to do anything. And unfortunately, I wish it was over something. I'll say this, I wish it was over something. I'll get more into the specifics of it later, maybe. But I wish it was over something. Suffice to say, he severely injured his handler. And his handler ended up in the hospital. It was not overtraining, I'll say that. They were just having some time hanging out together, and the handler wasn't even looking at the dog or talking to the dog or paying any attention to the dog. He had no equipment on the dog. Nothing happened previously. It was just a day like any other day, and unfortunately it seems like it kind of came out of nowhere, and I hate stuff like that. I hate any kind of handler aggression that comes out of nowhere. You know, some smartass I'm sure is going to comment that handler aggression doesn't come out of nowhere. Sometimes it does. I like it when it comes out of somewhere, because then it's easy to kind of deal with. It's I wouldn't say easy, but it's a lot easier to deal with. But the reality is he's big, he's strong, he's in the prime of his life, he's extremely powerful, and the handler handled the situation as best he could. I don't know if I would have handled it better than what he ended up doing, and you know, he managed to save himself, and he didn't harm the dog. And you know, he ended up going to the hospital, and unfortunately he's not going to be able to use one of his arms for quite a while. But that's the reality, and this is why I say over and over again, somebody, oh, you don't know Haz, the Dutchies, they're great, blah blah blah. Even a nice Dutchie like Mace, who I had a very nice relationship with for months and months after the first, you know, 2-3 weeks, and still seem to have a nice little bit of a relationship with him. Even these dogs, even dogs like this, like, you can see, right, like what can happen with these dogs. They are no joke. And if they come for you, oftentimes it is a hospital trip. I'm going to let you guys see how I got Mace out of the kennel for the first time. This is the first time I got him out of the kennel. He's been in the kennel now for 2 days, so now you guys are seeing the after effects of him being out, right? What happened? Did you get stung by a bee? It wasn't me, just remember that. Anyways, Mace is out of the kennel for the first time in 2 weeks, basically. The handler wasn't able to take him out after the attack, obviously, and I ended up coming to get him. I used a catch pole. I got him out. I loaded him. He was a little iffy with me. He wasn't, like, definitely as bad as he was when I first got him from Holland, but, you know, he definitely wasn't 100% the way he was when, you know, he left here with me. Very, like, happy and social with me. Like, guys, I took 0 precautions with him after the first month. Like, I would just open his kennel, get him all rigged up. He'd stick his head right there. So, you know, and I would do all this stuff with him. I'd hang out with him all the time. We went for walks alone in the woods all the time. And I know his handler was doing the same thing. So we have to determine why this happened if we can. And if there's a way to fix it, well, we're going to try to fix it. But it's not looking so good for Mace, because no handler wants to be afraid of his dog. No handler wants to be worried his dog's going to try to kill him at some point. So we're going to try and figure out what's going on. We're going to get to the bottom of it as much as we can. And you'll probably see some videos, sit, in the future. I'll tell you this. Come here. Sit. I've put pressure on this dog a lot, and I'm putting pressure on him now today. And we don't have any problems right now. Like, he's responding well to the pressure, and he never really had problems with the pressure. So he's always been Well, he's always been a nice dog to train, and he's never been a dog that was, you know, an ass about taking pressure. Up. Zit. Up. Ah. You're a little rusty there, buddy boy. Well. You still got it. Aha. So I'm hand feeding him for now. You guys are going to see how I took him out for the first time, the equipment that I'm using. I think a lot of people are a little bit incautious with dogs like this, and they don't quite know how to keep themselves safe. Keeping yourself as safe as possible. Like, look, he can still get me if he wants, but I have some tools now that I can protect myself and that I can get myself out of a sticky situation. If you don't have those tools and a giant dog like this, look, if he gets up on his hind legs, he's bigger than me. If you don't have some tools and a big boy like this comes for you, you might be in a lot of trouble, especially if you're a lady. So that's the reality of it. His handler is a beefy, strong man, and luckily that's probably the reason why he was able to also get himself out of that situation. So more on this to follow. We'll give, you know, he's a beautiful dog. He seems basically the same as he was, but I know what he did, and as far as I know, that's the first time he ever messed up a handler, right? So that's something that we cannot forget. Okay guys, so you may or may not know that Mace is now back. Whether he's going to be staying for a short period of time or for a long period of time remains to be seen. I had to go pick up Mace and bring him here just because the handler couldn't even load him in the truck because he basically has one arm right now and he won't have full use of his second arm for a while. Mace is gigantic, he's very strong. If he bites you, you're going to the hospital. I said this before, some people poo-pooed me. Hey, you know, it is what it is. This is a serious dog if he wants to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get him out of the run for the first time. He's been here now a few days. I've been hand feeding him through the gate, just building that relationship with him. It's definitely not like what it was when I first got him from the Netherlands, where he's really, really aggressive. Now he's relatively happy to see me, but I can still see some reservation in his eyes. Okay, so I'm going to be taking as much precaution as physically possible to get the dog out. I'm not going to be using a catch pole. I did use a catch pole to go and pick him up from where he was and to load him in the crate there and to load him in the kennel here. But now I think it's time to risk it and to take him out. So I've got a dominant dog collar made out of aircraft cable. This is what I love to use for dogs that, let's say, potential risk is there because they cannot bite through this. And you know, it'll allow me to pacify the dog very quickly if he tries to come up the leash for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him to put his head through this loop, okay? And this is, when I start taking these dogs out, this is kind of how I always start. So first I'll start feeding them through the gate. They're happy to eat through the gate. They start to associate me with positive things, with food, etc., etc. Then what I'll do is I'll crack the gate. I'll put the loop there and I'll tempt him to put his nose through the loop and take the food, and then I'll have him. So guys, let's see how it goes. Alright. So he seems happy. I'm going to use my body to block the gate. I'm going to crack the gate just a bit. What I'm going to do... Nope. Exactly. He's not... Let's just say he's a smart boy. So we've got to make sure it goes the right way. Yeah. Come. I'm going to switch hands. I tried to use my off hand. We're going to switch hands. I got it.